All right. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Let me just quickly share my screen. Oh, share. Every platform does it differently. All right. So that's desktop. All right. Let me know once you can see a browser of GitHub.
Yes, we can
Yep.
see
All
that.
right. Perfect. Okay. So I'll close that. All right. Perfect. All right. So I was tasked um, at Salsa to easily set up CivicTheme in GovCMS. Because if you take a look at the documentation, you'll see that there are a lot of steps involved in setting things up. And by having a easy script that you can run, like it's literally one script, it does make it a lot easier to, first of all, set it up in GovCMS, but also it just increases the adoption of CivicTheme. So for me, the process was first figuring out how to set all this stuff up manually and then breaking it out into separate steps. Now, Richard, you can jump in whenever you want if I'm mentioning something about CivicTheme wrong. So by all means, just jump in and help me out if I'm mentioning something. But right now, the script is stored on. It is open source, and so you can check it out at this GitHub repo. So CivicTheme underscore GovCMS, and the actual command is fairly straightforward as long as everything works. And so all it is that all you need to do is specify, let me zoom that in a little bit more. All you need to do is specify the Civic theme version. We also have this GovCMS module. So this module integrates GovCMS and Civic theme together. And so here you can specify an actual reference. So that could be the actual version, so the tagged version, as well as a branch or something like that.
I should be
And
making a tag on
oh,
this repository for each release, by the way. So that should pretty much line up with your
yeah,
Civic theme version, just so you know. Yeah.
all right, perfect, perfect. Yeah, because last time I checked, yeah, the last tagged release was like a while ago,
Oh yeah, I've
so
got to
that's
do it.
why.
Sorry.
Yeah, no, that's right. And there was an actual PR that went into actually fix a problem which was in master, also known the main branch. And then all you need to do is pass in the sub theme, machine name, human name, and the description. So these three options are just standard Drupal theming stuff. But then we have this other option, which is dash P or like a patch. So there is an actual patch we need to apply if you want if you want the actual import process to work, because what we were having problems with is if the import process failed with config import, it would kind of break the configuration import, and then you would get sometimes broken um, form modes and the widgets won't apply correctly. So, of course, on a non-gov CMS site, or sorry, non-gov a a site that isn't GovCMS SaaS, it's very easy to pop in a patch. But in GovCMS SaaS, it's not that easy. And this patch, there is a link to it. You can grab the issue right here. It's been around for a fair bit, but it's literally like a two-liner or like a one-liner. So the script actually handles that as well. So it just goes in there and it manually patches, believe it or not. It took a bit of yeah, debugging and figuring out, but it manually just places in and overrides the file. And then at the end of the script, it then reverts it. It reverts it because I don't think any of the containers actually ship like with GovCMS actually ship with like patch or anything or diff or something like that. If I recall correctly. So to actually run it, all you need to do is pretty much run a run run a script like this. And so there's actually, well, three processes, three parts to it. It is up the top here, you just download the script, you then chmod it so you can actually execute it, and then you set up your actual script and then you run it. So let me just show you how that all works right now. So here I've got well, no, right here, I've got a beautiful looking GovCMS SaaS site. This is just a standard installation profile, nothing fancy. If you run ahoy install, this is pretty much what you get. And here I've got the code. And while I was testing it out, I did find one issue on Mac, which I just mentioned to Richard today. So you have to, on a Mac, you just have to comment out this, and we can fix this up later. But just this RM self, it doesn't quite work. So I just had to comment that out for now. But all we need to do here, I've got an example of the script, and it's pulling in 1.1 of the theme. It's pulling in the main branch of the CivicTheme GovCMS, and then it's just setting up all of these values, and also it's just patching it as well. And you can see here in the themes directory, if you've played around with GovCMS SaaS, it is empty. And once we run this script, we should have two themes. We should have CivicTheme and also our custom subtheme of CivicTheme. So all we need to do, if live demos go well, we just need to run this, and it's going to go in and download everything, and you can kind of see the steps running through this. And essentially what it's doing is it's pulling in GovCMS theme, it's running all the provisioning commands, and then it's going into the CLI container, and at the end, it actually runs npm install and compiles everything for you. And you do get a nice little message telling you that everything's been installed. So at this point, you can see that it is applying all the config changes, and now it's going into the container, it's creating the actual sub theme, and now you get the lovely node responses, which I can never understand if anything's working correctly. But now you can see here it's all working. Absolutely, it's working correctly. And you give that a moment, and as long as the internet is running, and you give it, and you don't run out of space in your Docker raw image, like it's happened to me a few times, it should compile and then finalize, and then you get a working site. And it's installing. There we go. And it's the last little bits of Drupal. And then, yeah, you can see here, patch has been reverted, which is great. We get all this information telling us that everything's been set up. Come along in here, refresh, give it a moment, and you have a working site out of the box. And if we, what is it? Ahoy login. I can log in as an admin. Copy this, come along in here, and we can easily go ahead and create a test page. You have all of your widgets and all of the paragraphs and the banners, but you can easily come along in here, create a test page, and you have a working site. So that's pretty much it. A lot of work with whenever you create these scripts, it's never that dramatic because it's literally just one thing, but a lot of work to then just get it to run with one command, and that's it. So yeah. If we take a look here, let's just take a quick look at the code. So yeah, I mean, it's pretty, like, if you understand Bash, I learned a lot about Bash doing this, but the most important part is, so let me just bring this out a little bit more. There was a few steps here where it actually goes into the Docker container and runs a bunch of this stuff. Because it's just easier to deal with whenever you're dealing. I've learned with GovCMS, I've had in the past issues where running Node locally isn't as consistent because many developers have different versions of Node where you want to run it in the container. But essentially, you can see here, it grabs this final stuff and then runs it in the CLI container, and then it runs all of this in the actual CLI. And then finally, if everything is working, it then finalizes and spits it out. And at the same time, you come along in here, you have custom, and then you have your two themes. This is your main theme. And I called it agency GovCivicTheme because that's what I specified right here. So you can call it whatever you want. And then you have your Civic theme, base theme right here. And that's about it. Any questions? No?
This
Well,
is just
now,
for installing, right? This isn't for updating.
this is just for installing, yeah.
Okay.
Haven't even thought about updating it.
Uh,
What's involved on that? I don't know.
Trying to do a Civic theme one button or one click updation. In what world are you living, Alan? What are you doing?
Well, not the sub theme, obviously, but just even for the base theme, it'd be nice to have a one-click upgrade for that.
Mm.
And I think that'd be possible because it's basically just doing
Mm.
the same steps here, right?
Yeah, that would be.
Yeah.
In fact, why do we even need something like this? Yeah, it should be possible. Yeah. So Richard, maybe something on the backlog for you.
Yeah, I mean, for Composer run sites, CivicTheme is easy to is a one
Yeah.
command update, but
Mm.
obviously with GovCMS SaaS, you've got different requirements.
Yeah,
So yeah, we could
Right.
definitely make it wouldn't be too much of a script, I don't think either, to update it.
correct. Okay, I have put in the link to this particular repository, and it's, I think, a public repository, so everybody should be able to try it out if needed. I see that Vladimir quietly crept in as well. Hi, Vladimir. How are you doing?
Hello, doing great. Quietly creeping in from Queensland. There you go. Now I'm focused.
Hmm. The repository has been tagged. Okay, great. So any questions from anybody else? Anybody else? All right then. Thanks a lot, Ivan.
Not a problem. There you go. Stop sharing.
Thank you. I'll stop recording as well.